But unfortunately, they still didn't listen. So as we go to 2 Kings 17, let me catch you up on all that has taken place. Now, you have to understand, people of God, that when you read this Bible, it goes from verse to verse and chapter to chapter. You have to understand that many times it's years, hundreds of years, thousands of years that's taking place through all this. Okay? So, Joshua comes in and he rules after Moses. But after Joshua, because of the people still wanting to hold on to things that the Most High didn't never tell them to do, you had basically some type of breakdown in the system. And this is when you have like the book of Judges and during that time where they just elected judges to cover different areas of the promised land of Israel. Because the priests, they kind of got off, the people kind of got off, the king, it was off. So they began to petition the Most High for a king. The Most High told them the whole time, you don't need a king, I'm your king, I'm your God. You listen to me through the priest and you're going to be all right. They didn't want to do that. They demanded a king. So the Most High, this is during the time of the prophet Samuel, he went and anointed Saul, which was from the tribe of Benjamin. So initially, the first king came from Benjamin. He didn't come from Judah. He came from Benjamin. Saul was from the tribe of Benjamin. Right? Saul started out real good. The kingdom was prosperous. Everything was going good. But somewhere along the way, he did start doing his own thing. And in 1 Samuel, the 15th chapter, it talks about how they were sent into a particular place where they had to take out the entire village. King, queen, people, the cows, the cattle, livestock, everything. And Saul didn't do that. So you will find in 1 Samuel 15 that the Most High told Samuel, I'm done with this. 1 Samuel 15, I'm done with Saul. He don't want to listen. He want to do his own thing. He is not my king no more. And you will see, and he told him, go to Bethlehem and anoint my new king. When you go to 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter, you will see that this is when Samuel went to anoint David as king. Read that in your own time, 1 Samuel 16. At that time, David was only 17 years old. But it took 13 years for him to actually become king. Okay? Now, fast forward. David becomes king of Judah initially through the death of Saul and his son Jonathan. You will see in 2 Samuel, the 4th chapter, that David assumed king over all the tribes. All right? Now, fast forward. David, during the time of David being a man after God's own heart, the kingdom flourished. All the enemies were destroyed. Israel was doing really, really good. Now, David had some troubles. We don't really have the time to go into the things of David. He had some issues. He made some mistakes. But as a whole, it didn't directly affect the nation, because when David messed up, the prophet Nathan held him accountable for it. He repented. That's what Psalm 51 is about. And he got back in line. He was told, because of his sins, that he was not going to be allowed to build the temple. Mind you, throughout this whole time, they only had the tabernacle that they had in the wilderness. They had the Ark of the Covenant. But there was never one particular temple that was in Jerusalem that they would all go and worship the Most High. But he told them, as a result of the things that you have done, you will not be allowed to build a temple, but your son Solomon will be able to. So then we fast forward to the days of Solomon. Solomon was one of the most wise men that had ever lived on the earth. He was walking in the statutes and the commandments. He was from the tribe of Judah because of David. Somewhere along the way, First of all, he built the temple, dedicated to God, did what was promised, built the temple. Somewhere along the way, Saul went off. And when he went off, he went way off. Solomon had 700 wives, with an additional 400 concubines. And many of the wives and the concubines that Solomon had were women of other nations that served other gods. And he began to build temples. He began to build statues and burn incense in the temple to these other gods. And the Most High was wrought. The people were wrought. And in 2 Kings 17, we find here that Israel split as a nation. If you look here in 2 Kings 17, you see how they split into Israel and into Judea. Now, if you read the first part, started with verse 1 through 5, you will see. Let me go down here and read some of this for you so you can see. I'm gonna start at verse 13. It said, "Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all of his prophets, and ever against the seers, and saying, Turn from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded you and your fathers, which I sent to you by my servants the prophets." After all of that Solomon had did, after all of the breaking of the law and the fornication, the adultery, and the idolatry, the Most High still was sending prophets, still was sending seers to tell them to repent. And they still would not repent. They still wouldn't repent. Look at verse 14. It says, "Nevertheless, they would not hear, but stiffened their necks, like the necks of their fathers, who did not believe the Lord their God. And they rejected his statutes and his covenants, and he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which they had testified against them. They followed idols and became idolaters, and went after the nations who were around them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like." After everything that the Most High did for us, we still kept breaking the law. We still kept going after the other nations, trying to be like the other nations when the other nations wanted to be like us. I mean, even though we see that today, everything that we say is cool. It's cool. You can go right now to some kids in Japan. They dress just like us, act just like us, try to be like us, rap like us, everything. Never probably even met a black man or African American. But the whole world wants to be us. Yet, because we don't know who we are, and we walk in self-hatred and self-condemnation, we constantly trying to be everybody else. Our women are blonde in their hair. We're trying to go to all these schools and talk and act like them, act proper, to be them, when all of them wants to be us. And look at here. Verse 16 says, "So they left the commandments of the Lord of God, and made for themselves molten images of the two calves." Here go that calf again. "And made wooden images and worshiped all the hosts of heaven." That means the fallen angels. That's what they're talking about. Remember we talked about that last week. That all the gods of these other nations were nothing but fallen angels. We had the Most High, yet we began to worship those fallen angels along with the other nations and served Baal. And this is something that I got to say, and I know you probably don't want to believe this, but I need you to understand that we brought this on ourselves. In 2 Kings, the first chapter, verse 17, it says, "And they caused their sons and daughters to pass through the fire." We were sacrificing our own kids. Yes. Just like we're doing today in these abortion clinics. We were doing that then. Sacrificing. When they said pass through the fire, when there was a false god called Molech. Research him. And in order to get good things from Molech, you had to sacrifice your child. And so what they would do is they would have an orgy this season, right? And all the babies that came as a result of those orgies, the next season, they would sacrifice them to Molech. We went off, people. So before you start questioning the Most High and say all this stuff that He allowed to happen to us, the slavery and the bondage and the killing and the suffering and what we're going through in America with cops shooting us in the streets and people dying in the ghetto and dying in this, before you question the Most High, we have to look at ourselves. We did this. So verse 17 said, they caused their sons and daughters to pass through the fire, practiced witchcraft and soothsaying, and sold themselves to evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke Him to anger. We did this. That star that you see, the so-called Star of David, there ain't no Star of David. You can't find it in the scriptures nowhere. That's a star of Molech. Verse 18, therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed him from his sight, and there was none left but the tribe of Judah alone. So this is how the nation split. He allowed the Assyrians to run up into the northern territory. Israel's done, out, gone. This is 721 BC, over 700 years before Christ. Israel's done. The only one left is Judah, Judea, which consisted of Benjamin, Judah, and parts of Levi. Parts of Levi went with the 10 tribes in Israel. There was another parts of Levi that was with us, the ones who stayed true to the Most High. All right? Done. Israel's done. 721 BC, God said they're done. That's why during the time of Christ, you only had Judea. But then you would think, after we seen what happened to our brethren in Israel, you would think that we would get right. No. Verse 19. Also, Judah did not keep the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the statute of Israel in which they made. We kept doing the same thing. Even though we saw Israel, our brethren up there, get ran through by the Assyrians, carried away into the nations, Gentiles moved into the land. This is why, during the time of Christ, when you would see, they were called Samaria, that was Israel. They were called half-breeds because of the Israelites that were left from the 10 tribes that were there. They began to mix with the nations, and that's why they were called half-breeds, Samaritans, half-Jews. When you look into John the 4th chapter, when he goes and talks to the lady, and she said, our fathers used to worship in these mountains, because that was before Israel was taken out by the Assyrians. Okay? Verse 20 says, and the Lord rejected all of the descendants of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hands of the plunderers, and he cast them from his sight. And when it says that he cast them from his sight, what that means is that the Bible tells us in the Old Testament that the eyes of the Lord are forever on Jerusalem, forever on Israel. So when he cast them out of his sight, meant he got them out of his land. And you would think that Judah would have got it right, but we didn't. So as a result of that, let's go to Jeremiah 17. And we're getting ready to wrap all this up. But I had to show you, before we go accusing the Most High, and I had to show this because there's a section of our people who have realized that they are Israel, and they're blaming the white man for enslaving us. They're blaming the Arabs for enslaving us. They're blaming everybody else except themselves.